Welcome to Business Focus, a production of the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, LJ Wilson, and today we have Wendy Lemieux, Marketing and Communications Specialist for the Office of Public-Private Partnerships at Fairfax County, and we have John Stroud, Board Member of Miriam's Kitchen and Director of Investment Management for Bronfman E.L. Rothschild. Today we're going to talk about the Greater Reston Chamber of Commerce Community Engagement Forum, Impact Investing. Thank you for coming to Business Focus, and sorry, John, for kind of butchering
Not
the
at
Director
all.
of
I've
Investment.
heard worse.
All right, so Wendy, tell me about yourself, and John, I want you to also tell me about yourself, but we're going to start with Wendy. So could you tell me?
Well, as you said, I do marketing and communications for the Office of Public-Private Partnerships in Fairfax County, which is an organization within the county designed to bring people who need good done and people who want to do good together.
Okay.
So we bring nonprofits and businesses together for the greater public good.
And John, can you also tell me about yourself?
Sure. I am a board member of Miriam's Kitchen, where our goal is to end chronic homelessness in Washington, D.C. In a finite number of years. Specifically, we're looking to end chronic homelessness for veterans at the end of 2015 and in the broader context in 2016. I also am Director of Investment Management with Bronfman Rothschild, and we work with institutions and families and help them with their wealth strategies.
All right, with that in mind, Wendy, let's go ahead and start it off. What is impact investing?
Impact investing is a new, innovative program that allows private investors to invest in social programs for the public good. It is something that has just been legislated on the federal level and on the Virginia level, and we're seeing it kind of go in all over the country. So this is really exciting that we're bringing it here to Reston.
And so, John, you told me that you're a board member of Miriam's Kitchen. How did you help Miriam's Kitchen implement impact investing to their fundraising efforts?
Well, it's a work in progress for sure, but what we have concentrated on is something called social impact bonds. Another way of saying it is pay for success, which is a little bit wider in the vernacular. The way that Miriam's has used that is by looking to attract private capital to address a challenge that is basically looking to, whether it's homelessness in our instance, we are looking to use that private capital to end chronic homelessness. And the way that these private investors are the capital is returned, is that there is significant and commensurate cost savings through reduced incarceration, reduced health care, which enables those private investors to be paid back. And Miriam's Kitchen is working along with a number of groups to implement some of those systems.
Wow. So going back to you, Wendy, why is this good for government and ultimately taxpayers?
It's good for government and taxpayers because it takes the burden off the government for the social programs. One of the benefits is we were describing just now, is that when private capital comes in and puts their money forward, they are looking for real results. And if those real results are achieved, then the government will pay the investor back. If the results aren't achieved, then the government doesn't have to pay the investor back. And so ultimately the government is paying for success, which benefits the taxpayer in the long term. Plus the social capital improvements that come as a result of these innovative programs. If we can eradicate homelessness by using social innovation, if we can help prenatal health care or children in preschool, it's a win-win for everybody.
So basically it's a win-win for our nonprofits, it's a win-win for small business as well.
Exactly.
And John, I'm going to go to you with that question. What is the nonprofit role in impact investing? And then I'm going to go to what is the business role?
Sure. The role of nonprofit is really twofold. The first is through nonprofits' donor programs. It allows each individual impact investment to be more attractive in that it provides a cushion for private investors, similarly in the way that equity investors provide a cushion for bond investors. That's the first. The second is the expertise that nonprofits can provide in being able to assess each individual investment is hugely important.
And then the business angle of it. what's the business role in impact investing if they want to get involved in this?
Sure. There's a number of different ways. I would encourage small businesses to research the concept of B corporations. This is an idea of using the power of business to solve some of these pressing social and environmental issues. Another way is to look at your 401k. Are there options to invest for your employees into this impact investing? And more administrators are providing these vehicles, and so it's not as difficult as it used to be. Another way is a direct investment from free cash flow of the businesses to be able to use that money to invest directly into impact investments.
I really like how you broke it down, and that's good for our audience. So, Wendy, give me an example of how it might work for Fairfax County.
Well, I can tell you in Fairfax County in Virginia, Governor McAuliffe has just announced a great program using prenatal care. So focusing on low-income women who need prenatal care, and by giving them better care on that level, it will pay off in the long term in less need for Medicare, better performance in school, and less need for social programs. So that's a way that you're going to see it explode all over Virginia. So we're pretty excited about seeing that come.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And with that in mind, I want to know from you, John, who is successfully implementing social impact investing besides Miriam's Kitchen from your own knowledge?
Well, again, as Wendy mentioned in the beginning, this is innovative and it is still nascent. There have been larger programs rolled out, some with varying degrees of success. The issue on assessing the ultimate success of these is that it is a multi-year process. For example, there was a social impact bond that was launched at Rikers Island in New York. With the help of a number of different financial institutions, and that is 3-4 years into it, and we still don't have the results yet. So I think that because it is nascent, there's not a lot of ways to assess it. But again, I think it speaks to the opportunity that's there if we can harness it in the way that's most beneficial.
Well, thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate this. I think everyone should join us for our community engagement forum on impact investing and learn more about this through our roundtable discussions on September 17th, 2015 at Cornerstones. With that in mind, Wendy and John, thank you for joining me today on Business Focus. If you're interested in learning more about the community engagement forum, impact investing, it's scheduled for September 17th, as I mentioned before. It's going to be at Cornerstones, and please visit www.restonchamber.org. Again, this is Wendy Lemieux, a marketing and communications specialist for the Office of Public-Private Partnerships at Fairfax County, and John Stroud, board member for Miriam's Kitchen and director of investment management at Bronfman E.L. Rothschild. I'm LJ Wilson, and thank you for joining us on Business Focus.